Mike. Hey, are you okay?
Now you care?
Mr. Ross, I'm gonna have to ask you not to speak to my client.
She's not your client. She is Rachel, the paralegal, and I only have 5 minutes, so you should really get out of my face.
What's your problem, Mike?
My problem is that you don't have the balls to make this a fair fight, Kyle.
Lawyering isn't about fighting fair, and you better watch your false accusations, or I might just sue you for defamation.
The defendant wishes to countersue.
On what grounds?
I believe that's my line, counselor.
Defamation of character. The plaintiff's video negatively impacted the perception of Lena Lunders and impaired her financial well-being.
That's ridiculous, Your Honor. In order for there to be defamation, the statements made would have had been false. That's not the case here.
Then you should have no problem proving that in court.
Countersuit is allowed.
Are you serious?
Would you like to approach the bench and find out how serious I am?
Your Honor, the defense should have filed counterclaims before the trial began.
Yes, he should have. But no one in this crop of associates had the foresight to do so. And we drafted a whole addendum just because we assumed one of you would. So I'm going to allow it. Do you have a problem with that?
No, Your Honor.
This is now a defamation trial. You have until Friday to prepare. Nice recovery. Thinking on your feet. But you wouldn't have had to if you hadn't been so naive.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Zane, you scheduled this hearing. We've been waiting 10 minutes. I'm not waiting any longer.
Well, you don't have to, Your Honor. My motion is here.
You better get up here fast.
What the hell were you? I'm standing up here with my dick in my hand and you're out having a soda.
I had something to do.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, I hope it's worth almost losing this case over.
Motion to expedite trial. I thought this was a hearing on their motion to dismiss.
Well, if you expedite our trial, that takes care of their motion to dismiss.
Your Honor, they just got this case 2 days ago. They're using the timing of our client's contract expiration to try to shake us down.
I have to say, Mr. Zane, I find it hard to believe that in 2 days you found out enough to know you need an expedited trial, let alone care about these people at all.
Your Honor, 4 years ago, a mail carrier named Stanley Powell felt tightness in his chest. He thought it was nothing, but his wife insisted he go to the hospital. When he got there, doctors couldn't find anything wrong, but they wanted to keep him for 1 extra day. Now, unfortunately, Kelton Insurance refused to pay, so Mr. Powell went home, crawled into bed, and 1 day later, he was dead. Now, in front of you, you have a complaint that's over 5,000 pages long, which tells the stories of another 189 victims. Pick a page at random, tell me the number, and I will tell you exactly what their client did to them.
Your Honor, are you actually buying that?
Page 627, Mr.
Lawrence Green, 63-year-old grandfather, admitted to St. Vincent with complaints of lower back pain and excessive weight loss. He thought it was stress. Turns out it was lymphoma. Only they didn't find out until it was too late because their client refused to pay for the MRI. So please, rule against us if you have to, but don't tell me we don't care.
Motion for expedited trial granted. Jury selection starts Monday.
For your information, that's what I was doing. And it only took as long as it did because I was also doing something for the one person who has the right to treat me like his associate, but treats me like his partner anyway.
Well, if you can forgive me, what do you say I take my partner out to lunch?
Spending his life living through regret. 'Cause he never realized what's important.
Did it work?
It worked.
We did it.
We did. Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, one more thing. Someone couldn't wait for you to get home.
Could you bear my love? Could you bear my love? Could you bear my love?
Excuse me, can you tell me where Jim O'Donnell's office is?
That depends. What do you know about immigration law?
What, are we talking visas, or are you trying to process a labor certification?
You know about immigration law.
Doesn't everybody?
Okay, tough guy. What do you think about my strategy on this?
I think it's a winner.
Why is that?
Because everyone knows Gonzalez versus State of Maryland was a kick-ass precedent, but your case is better.
It was a kick-ass precedent, but I'm not sure that my case is better.
Oh, it is.
Well, what about Viteri versus...
Trust me, it's better. Viteri needed magic dust and a sympathetic judge to win.
Have we met?
Nope. But I'm Mike, by the way.
Claire. Are you sure? Because you look very familiar.
Oh, that's probably because I've been delivering packages to your office for the last 2 months, but you haven't given me the time of day because you didn't think I was smart enough for you.
It's 9:15.
Wait, that worked?
It's working so far, but I'm gonna need to know your full story if it's gonna keep working.
Well, I'll tell you the full story once you give me your phone number.
I'll give you my phone number when I know the full story.
How about this? I'll tell you everything you want to know at dinner tomorrow night.
In that case, I'll show you where Jim O'Donnell's office is.
Jim O'Donnell's office? Where do you think I just came from? That's it.
Yep. All you have to do is pick one of two
And
characters.
whichever character I don't pick is removed from film history forever.
It's like they never existed.
It's a piece of cake.
Okay. Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
I'm out.
What's the problem? You just said it was gonna be a piece of cake.
The problem is you just picked the two greatest characters of all time, so...
You're right about that.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Yes.
Let me start with something easier for you.
All right.
What's your Sundance?
Check, please. Yeah, we're done.
No. This is really nice.
Yeah, I'm having a really good time, too.
So when do I get to hear the answer to what you do besides being a bike messenger?
Who says I do anything?
Look, Mike, there's nothing wrong with being a bike messenger. But I'm serious about my life. I'm not going to law school just to cash out. I really want to help people.
Bike messengers don't help people.
No, not in the way that a man I want to be in a relationship with does.
Well, then today is your lucky day.
I knew it. Where do you go?
You first. Where do you go?
NYU.
Columbia.
I win.
Hi, I got a delivery-free Zoltan Friestmeister's son.
I'm afraid there's no one in this office with that name.
I'm afraid you're mistaken.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to bet that there's no one on this planet with that name.
Okay, fine. If you could just point me towards Kumquat McGillicuddy's office, I'll be on my way. Jeez, I certainly did not bike down here with 2 fictitious deliveries just to tell you what a great time I had last night.
Good, because I have a lot of work to do. So if you could please just hop on that little bike of yours. and go. Yeah.
You finished flirting with Quicksilver here. You might want to get down to INS. Hector Suarez just got taken in.
His visa's expired. They're gonna send him back to the Dominican Republic.
Hey, maybe I can help.
No offense, I don't know how you...
No, Nathan, he's not just a bike messenger. He's in law school.
Really? Where are you in law school?
Columbia.
And he happens to know visas better than either one of us.
Well, I really can't pay you, so...
No, I don't need any money. I just want to help.
All right, Columbia, be my guest. Got a hearing Tuesday morning, 9 a.m.
Mike, that is amazing. Thank you.
Well, no, don't take me yet. I haven't even done any. This might not be relevant, but I actually saved Kumquat McGillicuddy's life this morning, so I'm gonna go do some work.
Thank you.
Don't tell me. You took the job.
Actually, until this morning, I didn't think there was a chance in hell I was getting this job.
Sounds to me like you had a friend at the front desk who put your resume at the top of the pile.
Sounds to me like I owe that person a beer.
Just so we're clear, I'm that guy.
I get the picture.
Welcome to the clinic, Mike.
Thanks, Oliver.
There, see you met Oliver here?
I did. We got along right away.
Good. Oh, you're off to a good start.
I guess the only thing left is for you to show me where my desk is.
Right. It's, right inside that office right there.
I didn't think I was getting an office.
Look, just because I'm paying you dick doesn't mean I'm not going to give you the tools for the job.
What exactly is my job? Because as far as I can tell, I'm the only one here with an office.
Everybody listen up. You have a new supervisor starting today. His name is Mike Ross. Mike is from Pearson Specter Lit, and he knows more about law than all of you combined. So if Mike tells you to do something, you do it.
I don't mean to question the New World Order, but what is his title?
Great question, Marissa. Senior individual in charge of you? Any more queries? I didn't think so. All right, back to work. Let's go.
You weren't kidding when you said you were doing this for you.
No, I wasn't. I've been trying to get somebody in this position for this money for the last 10 years, and now that I have, I'm gonna take full advantage of it.
Why don't you go back to wherever your office is and stay there for the rest of the year? 'Cause I'll be busy kicking ass out here.
That's what I like to hear.
Marissa, right? Mike.
I know, the new boss. What?
It's nothing. It's just where I come from. The bosses don't bike to work.
I guess this is no Pearson Specter Lit.
No, it's not. Which is actually why I came here.
I'm glad, because there are a lot of people here who could really use your help. But I'm not one of them.
Aren't you still a law student?
A law student who's won every case I've had since I've been here.
I guess that means you have everything under control on the Price case, then.
You just got here. How do you do?
I'm a fast reader. Marissa, I'm not trying to throw my weight around here on the first day, but according to her file, Miss Price missed her court date. Which means I need to know what your plan is.
My plan is to have Miss Price explain that she is a single mother living in an apartment with a broken window and no heat for months, and they're trying to kick her out.
And if all you're gonna do is tell the judge that it's not fair, you're gonna lose. You need legal foundation.
I have legal foundation. Berger v. Chosick. Tenants are permitted to seek injunctive relief if vital repair requests have gone unanswered.
Then I hope you have backup, because the attorneys representing the other side have kicked out 300 tenants in the past 6 years, which means they are not messing around.
I'm not either, which is why I have Miss Price coming in at 3 o'clock tomorrow. So, is there anything else I can help you with, or maybe you can spend some time on some of the other people's cases around here?
Is defense ready to call its first witness?
I am, Your Honor.
What?
I'm calling my witness. Does prosecution have a problem with that?
Objection. This is outrageous, Your Honor. They can't switch attorneys in the middle of a trial.
And that would be true, except for the fact that I've been co-counsel on this case from day one.
Co-counsel? What planet are you living on?
The one where Pearson Specter Lit is my attorney of record. I have the employee directory right here. My name is in it. It's been there since the beginning of this trial, and if you wanted to object to me, you would have had to have done it at the beginning of this trial.
Then I want them waiving all rights to a mistrial, and I want it in the record.
Your Honor, I'm not going to be punished just because she didn't understand that I've been representing myself this whole time.
He's got a point, Miss Gibbs. Then I want them waiving all rights to a mistrial based on him representing himself.
My pleasure, Your Honor, because I don't expect we'll be needing a mistrial at all.
Then call your first witness.
Defense would like to call Gloria Danner to the stand. Would you please state your name for the jury?
Gloria Danner.
Mrs. Danner, a number of years ago, your son Clifford was convicted of murder and sentenced to prison. Is that right?
Yes, for a crime he didn't commit.
How do you know he didn't commit it if he was convicted of it?
Because you proved he didn't.
Mrs. Danner, can you tell the jury why it is that you're here today testifying and not your son Clifford?
He was working late at that diner. It was the only place he could get a job when he got out. 2 men came in to rob the place, and when Clifford tried to stop him, he was shot and killed.
I'm so sorry.
I worked my whole life to put him through school, and he ends up dying in the back of that restaurant in that part of town.
Can you tell the jury why you agreed to come and share your story for me today?
Prison ruined Clifford's life. And if you had been our lawyer from day one, he never would have been convicted in the first place.
Thank you, Gloria. No more questions, Your Honor.
Mrs. Danner, I happen to be familiar with your son's case. And I understand that in order to reopen it, Mr. Ross risked increasing his sentence to life.
That's correct.
Well, I'd like to know how you'd have felt if he lost that gamble.
I'd have been devastated.
And if that happened, how would you have felt if you then found out that Mr. Ross wasn't even a lawyer after all?
Objection, Your Honor. How many hypotheticals can she ask?
That's okay. I think everybody in this courtroom knows how they would feel. No more questions, Your Honor.
I wouldn't have cared what a piece of paper had to say, because Mr. Ross is the only lawyer I ever ran into that ever gave a damn about my son.
Mr. Ross, would you care to call your next witness?
I can't imagine anyone being more eloquent than that, Your Honor. Defense rests.
Oh, you brought a sack lunch. We would have shared.
Amusing.
As was this, your little lawsuit.
Take your sack of presents and run, kid. You're in way over your head.
Oh, I think he'll be just fine. Hello, Vivian.
Hello. So the rookie called in the veteran.
No, I'm just here to watch. I love spectator sports.
You enjoy watching the Yankees destroy a Little League team?
David and Goliath happens to be one of my favorite stories.
Okay. I'll bite. What's in the bag?
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, do you recognize this carpet?
Make him get that out of here.
This is your own carpet, Mr. Karinsky. It's from Frank Carvello's apartment. Come on. You feel the fibers, the texture. It's almost alive.
You brought bed bugs in here.
Whoa. That's vandalism, assault.
You know, I'm happy that you put it that way because that's exactly what we're going to be charging your client with.
What are you talking about?
He didn't just fail to eradicate a bedbug infestation. He actually created one. Yeah, he pulled the carpet from one of his old buildings, carpet that was already infested, and then he reinstalled it in my client's apartment to drive him out.
That's crazy.
You might want to warn your client about perjury. We've got sworn testimony from the installer.
And a picture of the same carpet from one of his old buildings before it was renovated. By the way, my wife and I really love what you've done with the place. So it looks like we're talking about what? Assault, violations of rental codes, health codes, and just basic codes of human decency.
And if a jury in New York heard all that, wow, imagine the damages.
Harvey, spectate, please.
Just get that carpet out of here.
So, Vivian, how am I doing for my first time? This still counts as my first time, doesn't it? Now, let's talk about how much this is going to cost you.
So what do we do now? They said they would let us know by the end of the day, so we wait.
Well, it is the end of the day, which means...
Doesn't mean anything, Louis. Whatever's going on in there, Seidel's gonna fight like hell.
It's not going to make a difference. She's never going to change her mind.
I think she will.
What do you mean?
I mean, that story wasn't any old story, and that woman wasn't really a woman, it was a man named Joseph O'Neill. And it was Walter Sampson's godson.
So she did call in a favor?
Yeah, she did.
Then we need to get her kicked off that board.
No, Harvey, we don't. Because I didn't fly all the way down here to strong-arm that woman. And I know the story of the wind and the sun.
What the hell are you talking about?
She's talking about Aesop's fable, which basically says that if you want a man to take off his coat, you don't blow it off. You make him feel warm and he'll take it off on his own.
That's not a strategy, it's a prayer.
Louis, I already admitted that I knew about Mike, and I reminded her of her own compassion. That's the best we're going to do.
You know they could disbar you for that.
In New York, they might. In Chicago, nobody's gonna care.
Thank you, Jessica.
Don't thank me. Thank Harvey. He's the one that called me.
Seidel. Hello. I'll tell him. Thanks for calling. You're in.
Oh my God, it happened.
I'm gonna go get us some champagne.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for flying in.
I wouldn't miss this for the world.
party of the third part, hereto referred to as Norton LLC, rendered not the subject of any litigation or any claim that might be reasonably anticipated to give rise, being acknowledged that such appointment is irrevocable and shall be deemed a power coupled with
Lawfully
interest in the
invested
event
with
of
the power to make such contracts or to perform acts from which it may be lawfully implied. That's it. Did we get it?
Saving and wait for it. Done.
What?
Your mind, it's amazing.
Thanks.
What?
Your mind's amazing too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Who are you calling this late? Oh, she's waiting up for you?
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's pretty late. She's probably sleeping by now. I'll just text her.
It's tough to have a relationship with the first year, or any year. You just don't have a life.
How'd you make it work?
Who said I did? It's impossible to have anything long-term unless you find someone that has the same 80-hour work week, and then that doesn't work either because they're busy too.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna let that be the reason that Jenny and I don't.
What are you two still doing here?
It's for
Nothing.
Harvey, but we're done.
Good night.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm sure you're aware of this, but I'm just going to remind you anyway. This office frowns upon relationships in the workplace.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick Sorkin.
Harvey Specter, nice to meet you. Should have a seat here. Whoa, what's this? How the hell did you know they were the police?
I read this novel in elementary school. Cops are staking out a hotel. One of them dresses as a bellhop, the other is a man in a suit. And it was the exact same thing.
You read a novel in elementary school.
What? I like to read.
And why'd you ask them what time it was?
Throw him off. I mean, what kind of drug dealer asks a cop what time it is when he's got a briefcase full of pot, right?
We should hire you. Jesus, I'd give you the 25 grand as a signing bonus.
I'll take it.
Unfortunately, we only hire from Harvard. And you not only did not go to Harvard Law School, you haven't even gone to any law school.
What if I told you that I consume knowledge like no one you've ever met and I've actually passed the bar?
I'd say you're full of crap.
That's a Barbary legal handbook right there, right? Open it up. Read me something. Anything.
Civil liability associated with agency is based on several factors,
including the deviation of the agent from his path, the reasonable inference of agency on behalf of the plaintiff, and the nature of the damages themselves.
How did you know that?
I learned it when I studied for the bar.
Okay, hotshot. Fire up this laptop. I'm gonna show you what a Harvard attorney can do. Pick a topic.
Stock option backdating.
Although backdating options is legal, violations arise related to disclosures under IRC section 409A.
You forgot about Sarbanes-Oxley.
The statute of limitations renders Sarbanes-Oxley moot post-2007.
Well, not if you can find actions to cover up the violation as established in the Sixth Circuit, May 2008.
It's impressive, but you're sitting at a computer.
Playing hearts. Sorry, if you want to beat me, you're gonna have to do it as something else.
How can you know all that?
I told you, I like to read. And once I read something, I understand it. And once I understand it, I never forget it.
Why take the bar?
This dickhead bet me I couldn't pass it without going to law school.
Okay, look, this is all pretty fascinating stuff, but I'm afraid I gotta get back to work. I'll make sure that Serpico isn't around waiting for you. You want this job so much. Why don't you just go to law school?
When I was in college, it was my dream to be a lawyer. I needed some money, and Trevor convinced me to memorize this math test and sell it. Turns out we sold it to the dean's daughter. I lost my scholarship, I got kicked out of school, I got knocked into a different life. And I have been wishing for a way back ever since.
Let me tell you something. This isn't elementary school. This is hard work, long hours, high pressure. I need a grown goddamn man.
You give me this, and I will work as hard as it takes to school those Harvard douches and become the best lawyer you have ever seen.
I'm inclined to give you a shot, but what if I decide to go another way?
I'd say that's fair. And sometimes I like to hang out with people who aren't that bright, you know, just to see how the other half lives.
Move over. I'm emailing the firm. I just found our next associate.